I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I
25?
want, and I always give
the,
it
orgy
100.
is
Don't need a
freaking
bank,
off
no,
the
I'm
charts,
funded.
buddy.
Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always
I
thankful
kept
for
the
something.
volume
Don't take
muted.
for
That wasn't
granted.
what I was
Stay
saying,
humble.
so you
Now
guys
wake
didn't have to do
up. It's time to
Yeah,
look
that's
at
not
the
our talent.
enemy. Look in the mirror.
You won't have to worry about
friend
karaoke
to me. It's
and
not
Toast
working out.
Mastery
Maybe
from
it's
us.
the chemistry. It's time to break up.
have a
So I
karaoke
can make a
room, but
better
we won't be
me.
doing it.
Better believe in your mind, 'cause it's everything.
We had what? At the last Momentum Builder Dawn, we had 3 karaoke rooms at the party.
We weren't in it.
We didn't participate.
No. We saved everybody's earlobes.
Yeah.
Alright,
Real momentum.
and we are almost up on our Facebook private group live.
Look at the freaking people coming in. I do have pop the man. Look at that, 130 already. We might be breaking records today. Like it, look at that. At 11:02, we have 134 more coming in. Oh, not this guy, Chris Sorensen.
You found him?
Just for a second.
I want to play. We're like, all right, you can play goalie. That's what always happened to me when I was a kid. I was the
You were catcher on our softball team.
Soccer, yeah.
When you guys bring in Todd Duncan, I mean, it's like the whole game changes, right? It's like, okay, well, it's Don and Gino. I love those guys. But then you bring in Todd Duncan, it's like, well, holy crap, that's like a whole new level.
You know what? I feel the same way when we bring in Chris Sorensen. So,
There's some love in the room.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, look, there's very few people that have been in the business longer than myself, it feels like, anymore, right? And Todd, I think it's like from 91 or 92, I think you started.
No. How long have you been in?
Well, I started November of 87 as a real estate agent. And I know that you were a top producer back at Plaza, I think.
I funded my first loan November 14th.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take
Wow.
what I want,
Okay,
and I
so-
always give it 100. Don't need a
Right,
bank,
and
no,
that's
I'm
why
funded.
you're
Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted. Stay humble. Now wake up. It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out. Maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
and how many
Better
books do you think,
believe
I think
in
I
your
read it
mind,
before,
'cause
like
it's
17
everything. You can
books,
mold, shape,
best-selling
find
author. What-
almost anything.
20,
All it
it's
takes
a
is
lot.
some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Yeah, 22 books, 3 New York Times bestsellers.
Remember this one?
That guy's still selling every single week. That book
Isn't it
sells.
one of the best business books ever?
Right? I mean,
Actually,
everything.
and it's funny. Dave just asked us to talk about that conversion. Yep. More than ever. Oh, wow, look at the people coming in. This is going to be such a great call. Hey.
Miami.
Woo.
Oh, Mike Carpenter says I saw Todd in Denver of 1999.
I was, wow. Yeah, I've been part of 98, I think I started.
I can't play
Changed
this.
my career.
I can't play this game.
No, well, you're just a
Real
baby.
puppy.
Yeah.
But Don, when did you start again, Don?
87.
Yeah, okay, so yeah.
Troy Williams says I was born in 1990.
Shut up, Troy, you puppy.
He's got me beat.
Jody saw me in 94.
You will never see me crack.
And by the way, are you floating out? When's the last time you took your plane up in the air, and how are you doing on your flight? I'm so
I need to get recertified. It's been too long.
Oh, wow.
I performed
Born 2000. Thanks, Derek. Just made me feel old. I graduated college in 87.
You know, Don used to tell people when we were on camera, Don conditioned that we could take it to. So when we were on camera, he said, you know how to get the camera as somehow? Because how many cameras are on you? so I have no problem telling him that when he started being a loan officer, I was in elementary school.
Hey, right there with you, Jim. Yeah. These punks.
Oh
my goodness.
Let's get started.
Yeah, so we're very excited to have you here. Of course, one of our most favorite calls, of course, Todd, who is my mentor, changed my career since '98 when I almost quit because I was doing it wrong. And Todd and a lot of his compatriots and his coaching told me so. And it's changed our world. And that's what Momentum Builder and Sales Mastery have been all about, is changing lives. And Todd, you had the best statement. So all of you that are on this call, 184 so far, this is almost a record. So well done, Todd. Is that your statement I love, because you're on this call, everyone, and we want you to interact, because a lot of people say, Todd, you have changed my life. And your best statement, one of the best statements, you have so many, but one of the best statements I heard is, no, you did. You changed your career. You changed your life, one, by being there at the event and willing to change their life. And I love that statement because you can't change their life. They have to be willing to. Am I right?
Well, it's not only willing, but it's to understand that when when the student arrives, the teacher shows up. When you could have come for years and years and years to any of our events, and then some life event happened, and all of a sudden you were ready to go. And what I tell people is, I didn't save your marriage, I didn't save your life, I didn't change your life, I didn't change your pocket, I didn't do any of that. You did. It just so happened I got to be in that orbit when you made the decision to change. And of course, what we tell everybody and always have is, one change changes everything. Like this new super brand that we're building, this one decision is going to change everything, but nothing changes until something changes. So you have those two kind of bookends to it. But yeah, the gratitude right now, I was thinking last night that we've had over 250,000 people attend Sales Mastery, both live and virtually, over 30 years.
Wow.
And the simple calculation is tens of millions of homeowners have been impacted. And for that, I just go, good on all of you guys, because everybody on this call, and Don and Gino and Chris, obviously you guys are agents of change. And think about how big that number is going to be in another 30 years, Don, Gino.
Woo-woo.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So maybe not everybody on this call knows what happened yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Well, let's start off because Chris is here as a guest, and I want to make sure everybody's like, who's
I was going
Chris
to say, I want
Sorensen? Why is he on the
I want
call?
to come on and get off. And so I'll just say what I came on to say, and then I'll have Sonia. I'm just going to be sitting on a fly on a wall and just kind of watching. But I just want to come on because obviously Don and Gino, I love you guys and think the world of you, and we're partners. And I've told you over and over again how impressed I am that you do a thankless job to try to get butts in the seats and gather people together to create a message, right? You guys are true leaders, and you're sacrificial leaders. And of course, Todd is a legend. Few people, and literally there's only about, on one hand, a few people that have created a legacy that is beyond obviously refute. And Todd, you're obviously one of them. And I just want to come on to thank you for always being such a class act. Again, for as long as you've been in this business, which is longer than 98% of the people, right? You've just been consistent. And when I heard from Don and Gino that this was occurring, I could not have been more happy for them and excited for you, obviously, to continue your legacy through some people that I know, like, and trust. And that's all. All of us that are listening, and all of us that are going to continue to be changed through Fuel and Momentum Builder, we're just blessed. And I just want to, as from one industry leader to another, just want to say thank you, hat tip, and congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris, you're a great leader. Your energy is profound. Your purpose and clarity is propelling and inspiring. And it's an honor to know you. It's an honor to know you.
And he's Chris, you've been a great mentor and friend to us. And I love what you just said, Todd. You are very purposeful and very clear in your message, and you're very good about teaching us to serve others. And if you serve others, you win. And you drill that in our head on a weekly basis, and it's a great message. And it goes right along with what Momentum Builder and Sales Mastery are all about, which is helping others, really driving change for the better, not just impacting them, but impacting them in a positive way. And Chris, you do a great job of that. And thank you for being a great friend and being a supporter of all we're doing.
Well, thank you all. I'm going to bow out.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. God bless.
See you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Good to see you, buddy. So I guess we should announce to those that don't know, and you'd be under a rock if you didn't see all the wonderful posts that came
Under a
out
little rock.
yesterday.
A little rock.
But then again, we're all busy people. We get it. There's a lot of noise out there, and that's what we want to prevent is just noise. There's too much out there, and we're laser focused on helping change because it's needed more than ever in our regards. It's been one of the toughest markets I've been in, and you've heard that the three of us have been through a lot of markets, especially Todd and I, been through many of these ups and downs and these challenges. And change and support and community, I think, is more important than ever. So we are very excited to announce that we have the amazing opportunity. This is a blessing. I had tears in my eyes talking to Todd yesterday because he's been my mentor and change agent and friend for decades. And to have the opportunity to align with Todd in that message of helping with change and putting together the best event ever. We're very proud to announce that, aligning Momentum Builder with Sales Mastery to carry on Todd's legacy is a blessing and one of the most exciting things that I've been part of in my entire career. And thank you, Todd, for giving us that opportunity and believing and trusting in us to help carry on that legacy and blow it up from here.
Give us some emojis if you like this, you guys. Just let it unleash right now. Just tell us how much you love the idea of us doing something that has never been done in this industry ever with two powerful brands. The thing that makes us so valuable, Don and Gino, is that you guys grew up at Sales Mastery and you grew up being advised and coached. And then when you started Momentum Builder, and it was all about the people, right? It was all about the people. And when I checked the box that we had just completed the 30th year of Sales Mastery, I just wanted to take a year off and celebrate that. Next thing I know, we're talking. Next thing I know, the market gets hard. Next thing I know, I come to your event. Next thing I know, we're talking in San Diego. Next thing I know, we're partners. You bought me, I buy into you, and together we've created this brand new super brand that's never been created. And just so that everybody knows, it's not just about focusing on sales and focusing on leadership and focusing on lenders and loan officers and branch managers and helping them learn, grow, and get better. The new category that we're serving is the entire housing category. So the super brand has already made a statement that we're going to change housing, period. And it's awesome to be with you guys. Just awesome. The synergy is off the grid. I've told you guys a lot of times, I was going to say a million times, but it's not a million, but I've said often 1 + 1 = 1,000,000. And it's your brand, our brand, and boom.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think about the things that I've achieved because of the things that I've learned at Sales Mastery. And you're right. You know what? Look, the goal that I wrote down in the book, the one that's most profound and most impactful to me, is I wrote never work Sunday. It's that simple. Life change could happen with something that small. And it took me about 3 or 4 years to get that. It wasn't because I wrote it in that book like it happened instantaneously. It's not magic, but it was something I wanted to achieve. There you go, Don. Game changers. That's us. That's something I wanted to achieve. And I wrote that down in my Sales Mastery workbook and I achieved it. And I remember when I actually did it, where I was like, wow, the things I write down at these events actually can happen. Another one was, if you want something to happen, calendar it. That's super powerful. I put that in my book all the time. And whenever I put something on my calendar, 95% of the time it happens. So simple things you can learn will change your life for sure.
See, Todd, I take notes. As Gino knows, I take a lot of notes and I review these things. I'm a note guy. It changed my life. So today, we're not just going to talk just about the beautiful union of Momentum Builder and Sales Mastery and the impact that we feel we're going to make October this year, in 2025, I should say. But we also wanted to talk
about 27 and 28 and 29
and buddy.
30.
And beyond, like the name of the event, Beyond Boundaries.
Yes. But I love that you're on this call, Todd, because I know a lot of people go, oh, okay. So Momentum Builder is going to help carry on the legacy and Todd will show up. I let people know Todd's more in now than ever We literally get the opportunity to talk to you, Todd, every single week, at least once, if not 3 or 4 times. We'll see you again twice more tomorrow
Right.
and all day. You're in and you're more excited than ever. And I wanted people to see that because your energy and excitement is contagious and it makes people feel good and know that you're in it. And because you have a legacy of providing such value at your events, and then combined with our energy and our commitment to value, I don't, I mean, your best statement, I'm going to steal it, is why wouldn't you go?
Why
Why
wouldn't you
wouldn't you
go?
be there?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you be there? Why wouldn't you be there? So just so everybody's super clear, um, in my LinkedIn post, it was like, what started all this? And it was a question. It was a question in 1992 that I asked myself. And the question, or 1991, the question was, what if? Right. And it's a question I want you to plant in your mind right now. Like, what if 2025 is a blockbuster year for you? What if you could have your best year ever? What if you could come out of whatever number of years we've been in a difficult market and a challenging market, and come into 25 proud that you made it, and understanding that you didn't quit, and recognizing that you're in an industry that still is going to change millions and millions and millions of lives every single year. Who would not get excited about that? But my what if was, what if I could get a bunch of loan officers together to hang out for 3.5 days and learn, grow, and get better? What if I could pull that off? And that was in 1991. In 1992, in October of 1992, we had 292 loan officers that showed up at the first Sales Mastery in Palm Desert, California. And when I think about what's next, it's like, this is for me another 10-year ride, because somebody asked me at the 15-year anniversary, how long do you want to do mastery? And I said, for a total of 40 years. And he looked at me and he goes, really? And I go, yeah. And so now with Don and Gino, we're going to have a decade that is going to be immensely powerful in this business. Just so everybody knows, I'm kind of the guy that is going to help create the agenda. I'm going to be the MC. I'm going to do the things I've always done at Mastery. We're going to build the panels together. We're going to build the speakers together. We've got keynote speakers, just like but we're innovating the conference so that it is a micro learning conference, so that you're getting more information with simpler implementation, with more readily available and expedited results. And I don't sleep at night because I'm thinking about Dallas 2025, guys. I just think, what else can we do?
Gino, what time was I sending emails at yesterday?
Yeah, 1:30 in the morning. I was getting emails from Don.
You were up to get those emails, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
your statement when in 98, when I first started, because I was saying, you're like, if you wake up, get up.
Get up.
So I did. And I wrote down and I started working because I had stuff in my head, very excited about the announcement, about this call, next call. I'm more excited about my opportunities in this industry than I ever have. And I've been in it for 37 years. Yes, I started when I was 10, but I'm very excited. And we promise also that this is going to be collaborative, engaging. The networking is going to be off the charts, because I have learned through you, Todd, and the events, that the networking is just as important as the content we receive, because you never know who you're going to meet that's going to change your life. And I have met so many people who have changed my life for the better. Friendships, mentorship, guidance, whatever it is. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to make sure that this is an experience, not just an event. We do not want you just showing up, taking notes, and going home. We want you to leave going, I am inspired, I'm excited, I have energy, and we're going to kill the next few years together.
Well,
Yeah,
but the one thing that you guys need to know right now, and then I want to get into practical, tactical stuff right now. But the one thing I want everybody on, 228 of you are here, grateful for you spending an hour with us. The one thing I want you to hear is that when you walk away from Beyond Boundaries next year, when you walk out of that room, you're going to have a guidance system every single day for 365 days to keep you on this beyond boundary thinking that we're all going to leave with, right? And we have the three of us have made a commitment together that your year from Dallas until the next one in 26, your year is going to be a year where we're in your life and we're helping you, and you're going to implement the things that you decide to implement rather than just turning it into a notebook, right? And I've always said a notebook is always a notebook until it becomes a workbook. We want to take the guessing work out of the workbook, and we want to help you every single day, 365 days. We want to help you implement the life-changing stuff that is going to be unveiled at Sales Mastery, powered by Momentum Builder.
Yeah, we stumbled on this term yesterday with all the energy and all the excitement and the buzz yesterday with the housing wire breaking the news. And I was on a call with Craig Davis, and everybody talks about return on investment. And then after that, we said, no, life's about return on relationship. And then yesterday we stumbled on the term return on energy. I want to make sure that whatever people give us their energy, that they receive 10 times that in return or 100 times that in return. Because your energy and your time is valuable to us, and we want to respect that.
Boom. So also, just so you know, because a lot of you on this call might be going, is this just an announcement call? No, we're going to dive in deep a little bit about how you're going to close out strong. One of Gino's and my biggest pushes with our team, and then how to prepare for 25 as you head into October. Of course, the Sales Mastery event, but we will make sure that we're going to give you some pearls of wisdom from Todd, because he always helps us out. We talked about it already. Todd already put out bullet points. So you're going to get some true value from our call, as we always promise. These are not, PR calls. These are actually, strategic calls. So I want to make sure when you leave here, the 225 of you now that are on this call are going to get some true value out of this, as we always promise, because our goal is to build this community and do this together, because this is too hard to do this on your own right now. I'm sorry. Everybody in this industry needs a community and needs to be part of something and needs help to elevate their skill sets, their mindset, and everything else, because it's tough out there. And we get it. We're in the grind every day with you, by the way. We understand it, live it. We have a team. We know your plight, your challenges. And that's what we bring in somebody like Todd to help with those, because your insightfulness, Todd, of how to get to the next stage and how to implement and change your life, there's no one better. So I want to make sure everybody knows that they're going to get some real pearls out of these calls, as we always promise you're going to get.
Well, let's go ahead and dive in with that opening, Todd. I know you have a few things that you wanted to really dive in about, and let's just get to it.
Yeah, thanks. The thing that I think is critical right now is that before I tell you, I think three things, pretty profound things about how we go from where we are right now to next year, and really a life kind of recipe book on how to do life, business, and all those things well, is to really check in on mindset. And I have this group of 20 people that are in our elite coaching group, and I work with them every single month. And I risked playing a video for them because, I thought these guys are movers and shakers, and can I start an elite program out with a 2-minute video on mindset, right? And so they loved it. So I think you're going to love it. And so I'm just going to play this real quick. Let me see if I can make sure that my sound is on here from the computer. And then let's watch this. Okay, turn your speakers up.
I've been protected. I've been directed. I've been corrected. I've kept God in my life, and He's kept me humble.
Not the
I didn't always stick with Him, but He
Tiles.
always stuck with me.
It's all right.
We're seeing your PowerPoint tiles. I think it's the wrong screen.
Hang on a sec.
We have the right sound.
I'm pulling it from the
Yeah,
sound.
we could hear it.
Oh, hang on just a second. Let's do this.
So stick with Him.
Number one, know what you're doing before you try to do it.
we always do.
Okay.
It's always a challenge playing videos.
It took Don about a year after COVID started to
It doesn't
start
take
sharing the right Zoom screen.
All of us have 3 or 4 screens now. You're like, what screen am I sharing? And then I got 10 tabs open. 10, not 100, 10.
All right, this is out of the deck, so you should only see it. Are you ready?
Let's try it.
I've been protected. I've been directed.
No, it's still showing the tiles.
Tiles.
Good night. It's the first time that's ever happened. All right, let's pass. Well, let me do one more thing. So
If there's a link, I could try. If you could send me the link in the chat.
yeah, let me do that real quick.
There you go.
Yeah.
The voice of God in the background. She is a woman.
Yeah, she is. Let me just
That's
close
Sonia
this
who keeps us
out.
all in check. And that's a tough job. Trust me. Poor
Yeah,
lady.
Sonia, the cat wrangler.
Oh my gosh.
You guys have the link in that email. Does Sonia have that email?
The Denzel
Not that one.
Only the
Yeah.
farm.
No,
Only the farm was in that email.
only the farm was in
Oh,
it.
got it. Okay.
Not the Denzel.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting with the. Let's go ahead and talk about Sonia a little bit because
Yeah.
you know her job is to keep us all in alignment, and that's not an easy thing to do. We're all, you know, we all have our own ideas, and she's like, okay, which one of all these ideas are we gonna implement? And I won an award last week. I am the most annoying other than her husband.
Oh my.
Yes.
That's
She
funny.
puts up with a lot. But without Sonia, there would be no momentum builder. So we want her to hear this because she has been integral to our success because she has to wrangle us and make sure things are happening, play project manager, marketing director, all that at the same time.
All right, Sonia, the link's in the chat to you directly.
Yes.
You go ahead and play from your end.
All
and then
right.
We'll get cooking.
Nice.
Cool.
No
And this is
problem.
interactive, gang. If you guys have questions for us or Todd or have comments, get in the chat. And I appreciate the emoji, the reactions. That helps us. We love the energy of that.
Now we see your outlook. We're going good with
Really?
technology today.
Oh boy. Okay.
Ta-da!
There we go.
I've been protected. I've been directed. I've been corrected. I've kept God in my life and it's kept me humble. I didn't always stick with him, but he always stuck with me. So stick with him in everything you do. If you think you want to do what you think I've done, then do what I've done and stick with God. Number 2, fail big. That's right. Fail big. Today's the beginning of the rest of your life, and it can be very frightening. It's a new world out there. It's a mean world out there, and you only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances, but don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline, which you have already done, and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. Remember that. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress. My mother told me, she said, yeah, because you can run in place all the time and never get anywhere. So continue to strive, continue to have goals, continue to progress.
Thanks for saving the day, Sonia. Awesome.
That's what she does.
I
mean, you think about, you know, the transformation I've had to go through, Todd, in the last 2 years with my health and my fitness, and I have a thing that it's like 2 days is maintenance, 3 days is growth, and 4 days a week is exponential growth. So I have a 4 day a week target. Sometimes life gets in the way, but it's a minimum of 2 days. And so that's what consistency looks like. People think consistency is either all or nothing. It's not. It's 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, maybe 0, 1, 2, 4, 4, 6. They all add up. They all add up.
So let me share something, Gino, with everybody. This is an organic conversation. There's not pre-written notes or anything like that. I said something to 1,000 people the other day on a global webinar, and they were all leaders. And one of the questions that got posted is, what is the key to consistency? Okay, so Gino, you just brought this up, right? Consistency. And what I said is, I said the key to consistency, whether it is you leading other people or you leading yourself, is to not let the slip become the slide. And it was very, very profound, because when we talk about measurement and we talk about consistency, it's very interesting. Denzel's talking about discipline and consistency. How do those two interrelate? If you're not consistent and the slip becomes a slide, which is slip one day, catch it, improve the next day, slip one day, let the slide start the next day, and let the slide continue the next day, and even the next day, and now the slip has become a slide, and to get back up there. In that process, discipline is affected, because if you don't catch the slip and you start to slide, when you look in the mirror, you generally don't feel as empowered and as excited as you would if you caught it and fixed it immediately. So when we talk about discipline, there's an ancient scripture that says something to the effect of that the people that neglect discipline end up despising themselves, which in the psychology world is feeling less than, right? So the goal, Gino, of consistency, the amazing journey you've had in losing, what, 60 pounds? Is that 60 pounds?
I'm at about 80.
80
Yeah.
pounds. That took discipline and that took consistency. So if you want a magic wand on how to make 2025 your best year ever, there is no magic. It is the consistency of the fewest things that make the biggest impact over time. It is the discipline to get good so that you move from whatever level of skill you have in whatever it is that you want to do with somebody in business, and you move from competent, okay, to massive competence, which leads to confidence, which leads to consistency. And that's, if there's any formula to follow, get really great at the one or two things that you are gifted to be great at, and don't do the things that you're not great at, because that adds up day after day after day after day after day. And pretty soon you look in the mirror and you don't feel empowered, and you don't feel excited, and you don't feel energized, right? So just going off on Denzel, don't confuse movement with progress. We all can work 40 or 50 hours a week. The key is, what are we doing during that time? And the more we understand the aggregation of marginal gain, the faster we will get to a state of permanence with a healthy self-image and that healthy outlook and that healthy attitude. One of the books that I read when I was a young loan officer was Tough Times Never Last, Tough People Do. And I think that's a message I want to give to you guys today. We've all, anybody that's part of the mortgage food chain has had a rough couple of years. Yeah. And you're right there. But any affiliate that's connected to the mortgage industry, anybody that, every single housing type business that is somehow integrated in the home purchase and ownership process has had a hard 2 or 3 years. Simple as that, right? So hardness makes us great when we get to the other side. Hardness makes us great when we get to the other side. So, Gino, I like that. So here's the 4 things, right? Get competent. That leads to consistency or confidence. That leads to consistency. And then that leads to compounding, which means every minute you work gives you a higher ROI, higher ROE, higher ROR, whatever our ROs are that we just talked about at the start. So I want to go off on that.
That's awesome. I mean, you know, the one thing that I think is important to address is delayed gratification. It's something that, because of the dopamine addiction that some of us have to our phones and getting clicks and likes and posts and all the stuff that we have today, and this dopamine addiction that we have, it's really hard to have the discipline and the focus and the determination to keep going and doing some things that seemingly aren't working, because we do something and we expect a reaction, and sometimes the market doesn't react the way we expect it to the things that we're doing. And I think in order to keep us sane, let's address that sometimes that's okay.
You didn't lose weight in 1 month?
Well, yeah, I have before, but it wasn't sustainable.
Right.
So anybody can sprint for a day. Anybody can do something for a week, but how do you do something for a few years? Right.
Well, how do you, here's something, Todd, maybe you can help with, because a lot of this sounds good. Like, we can listen to the, videos like we listen to the motivational videos, and motivation doesn't last. It helps, inspire us or initially make change. But how do we actually make change? Because, like, when we sit down with people and do business plans each year, it's amazing how often, a lot of you will appreciate this, at the end you're like, hey, how did your goals go from last year? And most of them did not come close to what their goals were, because they actually did not make change. They didn't change anything up that year to do these things that are to build confidence, consistency, skill sets, and whatever. Meaning they just kept busy hoping that that would allow them to hit their goals, and they find out, and they made no changes from the year prior. Is what I always see, is that you did exactly the same things you did a year before. How do they actually take those steps to make change? Because losing weight is not a one-time thing. Like I told you, I lost my 25 pounds, 1 pound a week. It wasn't overnight. It was a consistency, as you say, but you got to make change of some kind, whether it's your diet, your habits, your skill sets, your timing, your time blocking, whatever it is. Like Troy put, it's not realistic to just say you want to make change or put that energy. How do you actually do it?
So let me go off on this. So I'm gonna, this may sound like a foreign language based on everything I've done for as long as I've done it. Business plans are useless unless they're connected to a deep core purpose. It's not about the numbers, and it's not about the business plan. I'm almost of the opinion right now that there's no value in a business plan if you don't have the core tap in deep inside on why you're doing this in the first place. I think we hear so much about why that it's become almost anesthetized in terms of its impact. But through hard times and good times, the thing that drives everybody, and I also disagree with motivation doesn't last. That's complete bull pucky if you're inspired beyond anything to do something that you know is the most purposeful thing you can do. And when you begin to look at, yeah, it's great to know your numbers. It's great to have a plan. It's great to catch the slip before it slides. Gino's going to have a moment in time where he's at the bottom of the weight goal that he had. And there will be a time where Gino's going to go up a pound or 2. And Gino's going to have to make a decision right there.
Last week.
Just because it's because you were with me, Don. I gained 2 pounds last week.
Yeah.
But when would be the good time for Gino to check back in on his core motive for doing what he did in the first place? Would it be when the scale goes up a pound or 2, or when it goes up 10 or 12? And the answer is very obvious, right? It's to minimize the slip, period. So why doesn't motivation last? Motivation doesn't last because we're not tapped in to the North Star that all of us have to decide on, which is our core reason for being. Why, when I look at what we're doing together, guys, and I say this with just a whole bunch of gratitude, so don't interpret any of you on right now, interpret this anything other than very, very deeply personal. I have nothing to prove professionally, but I have everything to offer. And so when you start to think in those terms and those words and those thoughts, give yourself the gift of knowing that you have something very, very, very special, right? And when you tap into the specialness of your engine for success in any area of your life, all the areas of your life, you don't have anything to prove to anybody except to yourself that you are unleashing your own inner greatness. And that may sound a little bit psychological, but let me just tell you, I just did a study with almost 20,000 employees across America, Australia, Canada, and the UK. When you are healthier off the job, so the areas that have nothing to do with work are firing, right? You feel good about your health direction. You feel good about your relationship direction. You feel good about your financial direction, as hard as that might be in tough markets. You feel good because you're purposeful and intentional in those things. Your performance on the job will go up between 72 and 312%.
Wow.
So there's got to be a balancing act between off and on, right? And the problem is that most of the slips off the job are happening because of the inefficiency on the job. And we let that leak into the things in our personal life, like an extra call might get in the way of working out, or coming home at 4 instead of 6 might not seem reasonable, or having an hour and a half conversation with a borrower who you just haven't figured out the right formulaic question or questions, maybe a couple to ask, that would get them within 10 minutes to say, I trust you, let's go, right? So all of that leads to the psychology of success. I was talking with Brian Tracy the other day, and I was also talking with Tom Ziglar the other day, who's a son of Zig Ziglar. And it was very uncanny on these two global brands, Ziglar and Tracy. I started listening to both of them when I was a loan officer in 1980. I started listening to both of them, and the one consistency that they both talk about is there is a relationship between the psychology of success and the performance and achievement based on that psychology. So we have to do that. We have to get into this right headspace. And then, Don, motivation, it doesn't mean every day is a walk in the park. It does mean you have the core gravitational horsepower to get through anything. And tough times never last, tough people do. So I want everybody to write down 3 things. Okay, I was talking with a guy named Don Yeager the other day. Don Yeager is a Sports Illustrated sportscaster. He's an author. He runs Forbes Publishing. And I asked Don, I said, you have talked to all of these professional business people. You've spent decades pouring into the relationship between high performance sports and high performance business. What is if you take the whole thing and you dumb it down to a simple strategy, what is Don Yeager's key to success? And he said, write this down. And I'm going to just look you in the camera right now. I'm going to say, write this down. So the first thing you're going to write down is the word now. The second word under that you're going to write down is next. And the third word you're going to write down under that is never. And Don and I are unpacking this in an interview, and he said, this is the simplest formulaic process on success. What do I need to do now? And replace that with what do I want to do now? We need to move from need to want. I don't want to need to do something. I want to do something, right? And there's a positivity and a negativity polarity on that. So make sure the things that are now are the things that you want to do, not that you have to do, and then align those with your skill sets and align those with this competence piece that we were talking about with Don and Gino, and when Gino brought up consistency. And then only, watch this, only do that thing now. Don't even worry about next, because when you worry about next while you're in now, it is the modern day example of multitasking. So you can't do next while you're doing now. Otherwise, it's creating cognitive conflict, which destroys inner confidence, peace of mind, joy, happiness, and all the reasons why we want to feel good and joyful at work. Okay. And then he said, so when you see that and you see now, I want to do this. Next, I'll wait until this is done. I'm not going to try and merge two things together. Then he said, the biggest force multiplier. He used those words. The biggest force multiplier in this equation is the word never. And I just want you to let that sink in for a sec. The force multiplier is never. What are the things I'm never going to do? Who are the people I'm never going to serve? What are the things that I am going to choose to say no to, not once, but forever? Because to the extent I understand never, I free up space for now. And if you want to ask me the formula for success to have a great year next year, it's those three words. And it is in that order. And the things that do not bring you joy, the people that do not bring you joy, the tasks that do not bring you joy, the things you do that rub you the wrong way and make you think like, oh, why am I doing this? Now, next, never. So what's now? Between now and January, I'd reconnect with every high performance relationship that you have not done a good job connecting with. And I would set business review meetings between now and the 20th of December with every single one of those people. Realtors, builders, referral partners, it doesn't matter to me who they are, as long as you believe in them, they believe in you, and they're part of what you want to do next year. And I would reconnect. And here's what I would do. I would ask them one question. One question. I'm a big believer in the 80-20 rule. I'm a big believer that we ask too many questions and very few of them are powerful enough. And if we could ask one question that's super powerful and that question could yield a structural strat plan between me and that real estate agent for the next 12 months, or me and that builder, whatever the case may be, then I'm off to the races. So let's just say Gino's one of my partners, and I'm gonna say, Gino, last couple of years have been rough for you, rough for me. I think everything is coming back, and I think you and I can have a great 2025. So that I can add the most amount of value to your life, personally and professionally, next year. When you go to this time, 2025, what are the three things you want to have accomplished professionally? And how can we work on that every single week next year? If all I do is do that, I now have the recipe for the value that my partner wants to receive from me. I have something right now that 99% of loan officers in your market don't have. They don't know what's important. So that would be a now. I'd get that going now. And then I would probably, depending on how many people that is, I would probably spread that a little bit for Q1 and Q2. Like if it's 10 people, I might leak that up to 15, find 5 new people. And the reason why I'm asking you to do that is because we don't see a correction coming substantively until probably the end of Q1, a little bit of settling down. And if you want to do the number you want to do, it might mean short term you need a few more people to generate that kind of volume. So that's first and foremost. Then the slip, not becoming a slide, is to have a relationship and a commitment with collectively, Gino and I want to generate 2 new buyers a week. I'm not going to do it only for Gino, and Gino's not going to do it only for me. We're going to do it together. And here's the consistency piece. When Zig Ziglar said prospecting is like taking a bath, if you don't do it every day, pretty soon you stink, he was right. The slip has become the slide. The further we get away from the discipline that makes a business grow, the harder it is to correct that decline. And then pretty soon we find ourselves in that negative state of mind. So what is the best frequency, right? So I believe that the high performers in the business space that we're all in are doing minimum weekly check-ins with their partners to not let a slip become a slide. Okay. The third
Before
thing.
I forget real quick, Todd,
Yeah.
just so to keep everybody on track, a couple of people were like me taking notes. They would like you to repeat the question for your referral partner.
Oh, yeah, super simple. You and I have been doing business together for quite a few years. It's been a hard couple years. I don't want next year to be a hard year. So here's the question, Gino. If you fast forward to December 2025, what are the 3 things that you would like to accomplish professionally that I could come alongside and help you make that a reality? What are the 3 things professionally that you would like to accomplish in the next 12 months? And then how can I come alongside and help you achieve those? You now have the gunpowder to just ignite that relationship. And now value is not a risk because somebody that you know, love, and trust, in this case, Gino, told you exactly how you could help. And I'm telling you right now, with AI and with all the tools that are out there, you and I can solve problems for our partners instantly. They can solve them for themselves, but if we can find it faster and give them a solution more quickly, then we're off to the races.
Yeah, and think about that really profoundly and say, how many loan officers are going to be calling their partners and asking that question? 0.
None.
Nobody. Right. So if you that are on this call take that action, that makes you part of the less than 1%.
Right.
Are going to do what it takes to change their year. And that's it seems like a small thing, right? But again, it takes that first step. So the first step is call and ask the question, or maybe the first step is make the list of who you want to impact next year. Then you call and you ask the question. And when you call and you ask the question, you set a meeting, and then you measure every week. And so for me, weekly is a great cadence. And I think I shared this with you, Todd. It's what I did so that I didn't have that mental disappointment of, oh, I ate too much today. Screw it. Right. Because that's what happens. That's the reality, right? It's like, oh, the slip became the slide because I chose for it to become a slide because I said, that's it. I lost. And I said, when I started looking at things on a weekly average instead of on a daily, well, I didn't lose all week. In fact, there's no such thing as a bad day. There's bad news. There's maybe bad hours. There's maybe bad phone calls, but there's no such thing as a bad day. There's good and bad things that happen and emotions go up and go down. So I started measuring averages, and I'm always looking to get just a little better every day, just a little better every week. There you go, Don. That's the secret.
This
right
book
there.
talks all about that because we always lose our way and thinking, like Gino just said, oh, I already ruined that day. I ruined this week. I ruined this month. But the gap in the gain teaches you to actually measure your gains. Like, hey, yeah, I didn't make 20 calls today. I said I would. I only made 15. But then again, 3 months ago, I made no calls. So I'm definitely improving. Okay, I didn't lose 30 pounds, but I've lost 20 pounds. I'm gaining. So there's different measurements that you can do. And that's what's cool because we all go in the gap at times, whether it's in our control or not. Sometimes it's the market that controls it. So where is your mindset going to be to help you get through those gaps so you can gain? Because even losses are a gain as long as you learn from them. And that's what the other part of gap and gain is. Okay, yep, I screwed up, but I learned what not to do next time. And I'll be better next time.
Let me, I want to illuminate this in these final minutes. The key to everything is don't let the gap become the reality. When I wrote Closing the Gap, it was my 3rd book that I wrote in 2002. it was all about the same thing that it would be about today, right? I just posted a video that you guys could grab. It's called the aggregation of marginal gain. And it is the instruction 3-minute video of how a new coach took the British cycling team to win more gold medals than any cycling team in Britain had ever won in 100 years, and win the Tour de France 4 times out of 8, and they had never won it before. So watch this, because what it talks about is you will aggregate. Every single decision you make every single day is a decision of aggregation. Aggregation up or aggregation down, slip, slide, gap, gain. If we want to end this on a real high note, that is all you have to do next year, is don't let the slip and don't let the gap become normal, because you could literally improve 2025 over 2024 37x if all you do is now, next, and never, and pay close attention to that. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. And the more that you watch the goodness happen by simplifying to amplify, and that's really the message of success. The people that have really hard years, that don't make the kind of money they should be making, that don't have the kind of happiness they should have, the reason they don't have it is because they're going that way. And all I'm going to tell you is if you go this way, and it's just daily, like you could improve prospecting 1% a day. In 1 year, you'd be 37 times better, 37x, whatever your results are. Woo. You could take a borrower conversation from an hour to 20 minutes, okay, over the course of the next 3 or 4 months, and you'd be able to pull more people that you pull credit for into loans that actually fund out, and you'd be able to see that conversion go up. What would happen if your conversion to buyer conversations to apps that fund out, get approved, fund out, and close? What would happen if that went up 37x next year? The gap in the gain. Do not overcomplicate it. Keep it simple, and it will grow. Keep it confused, and it will stall.
Now, next,
Woo.
never. Super
Yes.
simple.
I wrote down these notes, and I hope you did too. I mean, Todd, you always have such, this is just a little taste of what they're going to get throughout the year, because this is going to be an ongoing thing, because we're with you every week, all year long. And then this is all going to come together. I promise. The value we're going to have at Sales Mastery 2025, October 14th to the 17th. So we have a gift for you, because this is a gift, because as I mentioned, the only way you're going to improve your life personally or professionally is to take action. So we're going to give you a gift to help you take action. And this is not just a sales pitch, because we know the value we're going to give you, but we're going to let you know that why wouldn't you go to Sales Mastery 2025? We guarantee the value. We actually guarantee it. If you didn't get value out of it, we'll give you your money back. We've never had to give anybody a refund ever. So we're going to give you the best price you will see the entire year, because we want those who take action early to be rewarded for it. So you're going to get the lowest price you will see. The regular price for this is not a pitch. This is you just being smart enough to take action. The lowest price is $5.95. The actual regular price is $12.95. There's so much value. We're talking 4 days of true value with the best of the best. Unless you get Todd, myself, Gino, and all these top people we're going to bring in to change your life. Plus, it's going to be an experience and networking and fun. So take action today, because this $5.95 is only good this month. That's it. Every price after that's going to be higher than this. So if you don't take action, that's on you. This is a
9 days to
gift.
go.
What's that?
Only 9 days to go.
Yeah. So we want you to take action and commit. Once you do stuff, isn't it amazing when you say, you hold yourself accountable and you take action? It's amazing how much goes. Like, I'm going to write it down that I'm going to lose 10 pounds by the end of the month. And you follow that every day. It helps you take action. This will help you take action, because if you sign up today, you're like, I'm committing to be in there in October. You should block out the calendar, October 14th through the 17th. And we're moving it to Dallas, because we want to eliminate all distractions. We used to have it in Vegas, a lot of distraction in Vegas. We want you focused and engaged and empowered through our event. Anything else you can add, Todd, because you've been doing this for 30 something years and have had the #1 event for 30 of those years. So
yeah.
what's your input on this and why they should take action?
I'm just gonna say it straight up. Nobody needs to be sold on becoming the best version of you possible. So just take that off the table. Here's what I've found about
Right?
decisioning. No, I'm serious. I mean, what is the one thing that I have heard in 30 years of sales mastery that really, really saddened me? Here's the one thing. I wish I had come 10 years ago, or I wish I had come 5 years ago, or I wish I had learned about you sooner, or I wish here's a decision you have to make. It's a decision all of us have to make. Every single day, we're forced to make choices. And every choice we make is going to create one of two outcomes. One of the outcomes is going to be, I wish I had done that differently. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. It's okay to make mistakes, but don't make that same mistake twice. The other side of it is 1 hour after mastery starts, you could say, I am so glad I did this. I am so glad I'm here. That is life. I wish I hadn't called on that realtor. I am so glad I called on this realtor. Okay, make really, really profound, good, well thought out decisions, because just know every single decision is going to lead to I wish I had, I'm glad I did. Gino,
Wow.
right now, do you wish you had lost weight 5 years ago? Or are you glad you have lost it now?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? I do
I
look
know,
in,
but what is your
yeah.
core motivation right
No, I'm happy that I did.
now? Yeah.
I'm glad
So
I
you look
did.
back on it. So
I-
not
But
doing
I
it.
learned a lot of lessons to get to that point, right?
Of course,
Years
of
of
course.
failure, years
Yeah.
of failure before I finally mastered it. So you just never have to give up on that. You know, if you know you want to achieve something, you can't give up. You have to try over and over again. I did let the slip become the slide multiple
Yep.
times, and yes, the
We all
hill.
have. We
And
all
yes,
have.
the hill was a lot longer to climb because God knows I didn't want to be on a diet for 3 years, but whatever. That's what it took to get back to where I wanted to be.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to pour every ounce of my soul into this event every year until I can't. And
Me too.
there's zero reason why you should not be there. You should not even hesitate on it. You've got a year to figure out how to pay for it. Buy it now, and then use now, next, never in the next 30 days. You'll make probably $5,000 back by just having that process in the next 30 days. So invest in yourself. No time like the present. Why wait? And then be part of this new economy that we're going to build together. It's going to be very powerful. Thank you guys
Todd.
thank you guys for letting us do this together. 2
Oh,
events.
my goodness. This is most, like you said, the excitement. I am motivated, like you said. Motivation does last because I am more motivated than I've ever been, aligning with you, knowing that we have the opportunity to reach more professionals than ever before.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, our goal is to continue to grow this and including the entire housing industry, not just mortgage, helps us too to reach out to even more professionals because we all align ourselves together. If you're smart, you're working with financial planners and insurance and CPAs and so forth, real estate agents, of course. Why don't we become one giant community helping each other become more successful personally and professionally? Because there's a life balance, and that's what you've taught Gino and I. That's why I almost quit because I had no life balance. I was trading hours for dollars and ran out of hours. And I'm like, this is stupid. And you said, yes, it is. So why are you doing this, this, and this? Oh, I thought I had to. No, pay somebody to do that. Or don't do that. Do you like doing that? No, I hate doing that. Then don't do it. These are just some of the little,
never.
yeah.
I
mean, I write it down.
I have a never that I applied, and I said, and then Don knows my saying. It says nothing good happens after 8. I don't take client phone calls after 8 p.m. no matter what, because I've never had one result in something great. Every time I did it and I violated that never,
it ruined your night.
It ruins my night. It ruins my sleep, and it potentially ruins the next day, or maybe even the way I react to certain things because I'm already tired, because it's already because I should be with my family. So that's a never that I respect, like massively respect now, is nothing good happens after 8. So don't take any client calls after 8 p.m. It also means they don't respect your time, right? Let's be honest. That's really the basis of it. That's probably where the core of the problem is. But those nevers are super powerful, and they allow you to feel free and have more gratification in what you do.
Love it. What's your never list?
Well, thank you, Todd. You crush it as always, and we're super excited. We do these every Thursday. We're going to take a couple breaks, of course, during the holidays because you're not going to be paying attention anyways. But we have a great call about Brittany Hodak.
Yay,
Brittany, Todd.
Yeah.
She is just. You want to talk about a ray of sunshine along with Kristen? This is, the next couple of weeks, woman power that are just going to change your life as they've changed ours. So make sure you pay attention. I'm really excited. Tomorrow we get to be on Trust Engines call with Dave Savage tomorrow at 9 a.m. So follow us again. We have more pearls of wisdom. Just life is exciting if you make it exciting. If you have motivation, you have inspiration, you're motivated about something. I'm more motivated than ever because I get to do this with Gino and Todd, and we're going to impact more lives than ever. And hopefully it's yours. We want you there. You're part of our community. You're part of our lives. So sign up today. Don't wait and pay more down the line. You're going to go, I should have already signed up. So take action today. Join us in Dallas. It's going to be an amazing experience for sure. And thank you, Todd. Love you, man.
Love you guys too.
Opportunity.
See you tomorrow, buddy.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being part of the call.